What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Ask DeFranco's Gym. Today we got a question from Brian from Baltimore regarding core training. He writes, Joe, thank you for all the content you provide on your website, Twitter page, and YouTube channel. I can't tell you how much I've learned since finding you online. After spending hours watching your YouTube videos, one thing that caught my attention was how many of your athletes have a similar look. They are all extremely muscular, yet surprisingly lean for their size. Since the holiday season is upon us, I thought it'd be appropriate to ask you, what are your top 3 core exercises? What do you have your athletes doing to achieve their lean, muscular physiques? Thanks, Brian. Well, first of all, Brian, I think I have to make a note that, and hopefully most people know this already, that diet is the key to actually seeing your abs. So when you're saying all of our athletes have a similar look, it's because they do have a good amount of muscle on them, but they don't have fat hiding that muscle. So I have to give credit to their diet and supplementation program. That is the key, is to get rid of that layer of fat so you could see your hard-earned muscle. So that is number 1. And number 2, I just want to preface this before I get on to answering your actual question, is just because you could see your abs does not mean that they are strong. That is why this guy is up here right now. This does not count as having abs. If you're 150 pounds and you could see your abs, it doesn't count. We have a rule in my gym where you're not even allowed to take your shirt off unless you're 200 pounds. So none of this, no more, okay? So I want to get that out of the way. At least 200 pounds, then it's somewhat impressive to see your abs, all right? So now on to your question. The answer isn't probably what you think it's going to be. There's no magical ab exercises that I do that help our athletes achieve the look that you're referring to. In fact, the core, true core training is more than just abs. It's actually everything from the base of your neck down to the back of your knees. So what I wanted to do is show you the 3 components to true core strength, real core strength. And number 1 is breathing. Most people, especially athletes, don't know how to breathe. It's something that we do 20,000 times a day, but you see a lot of chest breathers where they breathe very shallow, and that creates low back tightness and inhibited abs. So if you're breathing incorrectly, once you get on the ground and you do your abdominal exercises, if those abs are inhibited from poor posture and poor breathing, you're kind of behind the 8 ball already. So you need to be able to breathe before anything else. Once you learn how to breathe properly, diaphragmatically, then your posture will get better, your abs won't be inhibited, you'll notice that your low back kind of loosens up. You'll also notice you'll be able to train longer and harder. If you ever watch a real good MMA cornerman or a cornerman in boxing, one of the first things they say in between rounds is trying to get their athlete to control their breathing, because they know if they could control their breathing, they're going to be able to train longer and harder. So you could see how breathing could be one of those foundational things. And not only for the working out longer and harder, but after the workout, if you learn how to breathe deeply, diaphragmatically, it actually elicits a parasympathetic response where it will have a relaxation response on the soft tissues of your body, and that will just kickstart the recovery process. So for us, breathing is key. That is why it's the foundational, it's the foundation of my pyramid for real core strength. Next up is bracing, and I put planks in there, but the best exercise you could do for your abs or your core is learning how to lift without a weightlifting belt. Things like taking the dumbbells off the rack and walking back and doing a dumbbell bench press will drastically improve your true core strength. Learning how to squat and deadlift without a belt, breathing, locking in, bracing those abs, and then lifting a heavy load, that's really what's going to develop true functional core strength, and learning how to do that is imperative. We don't have any of our athletes wearing a belt unless they're at least going over 85 or above of their 1 rep max in the main barbell lifts. We might throw a belt on, and obviously it could be beneficial for that, but everyday things, accessory movements, warm-up sets, definitely want to learn how to lift and brace properly without a belt. It will pay huge dividends. And then finally, the peak of my pyramid for real core strength is anti-movement patterns. So think sprinting. The number 1 role of the core is to protect and stabilize the spine while your extremities are moving. So if you see an Olympic sprinter, arms and legs moving 100 miles an hour, and it just looks like they're shredded, you could see their abs and their body's barely moving, they're just perfectly linear as those arms and legs are moving 100 miles an hour, that is true core strength, and that's what we would refer to as an anti-movement pattern, where your abs and your entire core musculature are able to stabilize and protect your spine while your body's, going 100 miles an hour. So that is key. Things like sprinting. I have loaded carries here where we do a lot of offset dumbbells and kettlebells, where we might have an athlete hold a 90-pound kettlebell in the rack position and a 124-pound kettlebell in the other hand, and try to do a farmer's walk without tilting or leaning, favoring one side. Again, anti-movement pattern. Those type of things will work wonders for not only you seeing your abs, but it will be functional strength as well. You'll notice that you're going to get stronger, you're going to be faster, you're just going to function better. So this is my pyramid for developing real core strength. This guy, that's not real core strength. Learn this stuff. These are the three main components. And anybody who knows me knows that I don't like to promote tons of products, but man, we have a product, Hardcore, which is the best, most beneficial product out there as far as true core training. This is the #1 resource in the world. It ain't 6-minute abs. If you really want to learn more about this stuff and learn it to a much deeper level, then this is the product you want to get. I'll put a link with this video so you can check it out. But those are my 3 components to real core strength. It ain't a bunch of exercises on the ground. I hope you found this video beneficial. Don't overeat too much on the holidays. Stay in the gym. Watch that diet. Incorporate this stuff into your training, and you will be able to see those abs, and you will have the go to go along with your show as well. Thanks, guys.